David Stark from WatcherPass.com, your website for movie reviews, interviews, and recommendations. Today, I'm very excited to be joined by Coleman, who plays Jessa, and Rick Kain, who plays Rick, in the indie religious teenage drama Fishbowl. We're going to talk to them in just a second, but first, let's check out that trailer. And while you're watching, if you could like and subscribe to this channel, that'd be fantastic. It helps me out a lot. Thank you.
We live in Bishop County. No matter what you do, somebody knew you would. People talk in this town. Somebody saw it. Another person talked about it. So either you talk or you're talked about. But they call this town the Fishbowl. When you climb to the top, you just slide right back down. He didn't like the way people looked at us. Father said, everything happens for a reason, but I don't think he really believed that.
All right, well, so thank you so much for joining me. Today I'm joined by Coleman and Rick Kain from Fishbowl. Fishbowl is it's an indie religious teenage drama that it's just fantastic. You know, I get to see a lot of films in this little hobby that I have, and every once in a while you'll have a film that just kind of hits you and, you know, kind of takes you by surprise, and that was Fishbowl. It's a really amazing movie, and I'm just really happy to have these two actors here to talk to me about it. So thank you so much for joining me.
Glad. Thank you for having us, David.
Thank you.
And this is kind of weird for me because Caroline, this is I've seen the film 3 times, and this is, I think, the first time I'm hearing your voice. So it's going to be a new experience right now.
Yes, I can talk.
Did you have like a pen or something to write down some answers to show me?
Not this time, unfortunately. I don't have it with me.
Next time, I guess. So thank you so much, both of you. So Fishbowl was released, I think, last week, maybe 2 weeks ago. I think it was last week, though.
Yeah, 27th of October.
27th of October. So the film was filmed in 2018, and then it debuted at the Austin Film Festival, and then kind of finally had its digital release recently. So I guess, what has it been like? What was Austin like back when we had film festivals and gatherings and people? And then, what has it been like kind of promoting the film now, and how different has that been? I'd be interested to hear that.
Austin was great. It was it's a great city, and it was a fun festival, and I had a great time. I have a good friend, his daughter lived out there, and she took me to all these different party places that were fun, and the festival was great. A lot of great films, and Fishbowl did really well. Yeah.
Caroline, did you travel to Austin as well for the premiere? Or?
I did not travel to Austin, but I did go to the Annapolis Film Festival, which was really fun because I went with I live in Maryland, so I went with all my friends to see it. It was their first time seeing Fishbowl, and that was a really nice experience.
And that was like your first time, that's your first film as far as I can tell on IMDb. Maybe you have other credits. So that must have been an experience for you and them. That must have been really fun to see.
Yes, and they were waiting because we filmed in Frederick, so they knew what was going on the entire time while we were filming. So they were really excited to see it, and I was excited to see it with them.
Yeah, I didn't mean to leave out Annapolis because that's a great festival, and that was the last festival, I guess, and that was great because the whole cast and crew was close, and everybody had an opportunity to go, and that was a great day as well because we kind of went out to breakfast early, and yeah, it was fun. That's
awesome. Yeah, I've heard that there's a lot of Maryland, DC area connections in this film, so that's kind of that must have been a great little homecoming for everyone.
We call it the DMV.
Yeah. Well, I live in Maryland, so I'm.
Yeah.
Everyone's local here. And so, Carolyn, had you seen the final film before the festival, or was that your first time kind of experiencing the film as well?
There was a private family screening in Baltimore, I think a couple of months before, so that was the first time I saw it, and so cool. We did it at a movie theater, and I remember like my parents driving me and like seeing the poster on the movie theater, and I was like screaming. It was really exciting. This is my first film that I've ever done, so to have that experience was amazing.
That's awesome. It's like whenever I would get like a little picture in a newspaper and be really excited, except this is way cooler and way more exciting. So that's fantastic. So, I guess this film has a lot of Maryland, DMV kind of roots. So I imagine maybe that's how you all got involved. I'm just very curious how you both got involved in this film, because it's I think it's Alexa and Steven's first major film. Maybe they also filmed DC Noir around the same time, but it was also their kind of first film. So it seems like a lot
First
of people.
feature, yeah. First film, yeah.
So it seems like this is a lot of people's kind of first experiences. I'm really curious to see how everyone assembled for this amazing film.
You want to go first, Caroline?
Well, sure. I auditioned in Baltimore, and it was just a normal process. They were looking for 3 blonde girls, and I went in, and I got a call back, and I landed the role of Jessa, and that was pretty much the process for me.
Did you talk during the audition, or was it
Yes,
all
I
kind
actually
of
read for Emily's role.
Okay.
I was reading for Rachel, and I did an audition and callback for Rachel.
Awesome. Well, yeah, I'm trying to picture you as Rachel, but I think I've just seen the film too many times. I always picture you as Jessa, but that would be, I guess that makes sense. You wanted for that one, and then they kind of saw you as a different role, which fits perfectly too. So.
Yeah, casting was perfect for the daughters, I thought. Yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's they're all so different, and yet have such a nice camaraderie and kind of sisterhood as you would expect from a family. So that's a really great job, kind of getting everyone together.
Yeah.
Rick, how did you get involved in this?
So it's always interesting to try and find the nexus, and I think with that, so going back, Kyle Crosby, one of the producers, brought me on to stunt coordinate a night on a short film Steven was doing that was written by George Pelecanos called The Confidential Informant, which is the last vignette in DC Noir. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of how I met Steven. And then Steven and Alexa and Levi, the DP, were doing a video photography project, and they called and said, "Hey, would you come and be the dad in this little project?" So I was like, "Yeah, man, I'll come out. Thank you." We did this cool little project, and then about a week or so later, Steven called and he said, "Hey, so we're thinking we love this and we want to make a feature. I want you to watch this. Would you consider coming on and being the dad?" So I'm like, "Yeah," and I think that was like August or late August of 2016, and I'm thinking, "Yeah, for sure." And I'm thinking I won't hear anything for a month or a few months, maybe the following year, while they get a feature script together. And literally a month later, Steven's calling with dates. It's like, "Okay, we're going to start shooting." And it was quick. It was, when they put their minds to doing something, it was great. So that was it. It's a long, convoluted story, but the nexus is like, Kyle Crosby, the producer, Carl Glorioso, and George Pelecanos, because you'll find them on so many great projects, and there's a nexus there.
Yeah, I guess that's fantastic. That's awesome. I saw DC Noir earlier this year too, and it was just fun to see a film kind of set in DC and kind of see all those places come alive in those short stories. So
it is great, and it's funny because so Steven and Alexa did a tennis camp when I used to run a health club at my club, which I didn't know her. I've known their mom Janice for years, from working on The Wire and a lot of other films and things that have been shot in the DMV. So I've known her for years. So it was just so cool to be working with Steven and Alexa, and they're like amazing visionaries as far as filmmakers go. I just get them when they're talking about their vision and the scripts. It's just great sets to be on when you're with them and working together. Yeah.
And that's a great time to transition. One of the things that kind of struck me about this film is that, I didn't realize that they were first-time directors, first-time feature directors, because this had such a strong vision and style that you don't, kind of normally see on a first indie project. So I guess what was it like, working with them? I've heard some stories about how I think one of the set designer was like very particular in the costumes and all the little details that kind of helped to make the film have a nice seamless style and look and all that. But I guess what was it like working with them? It seems like they're both very talented and also have very, they're both very talented in different ways, which kind of meshes together very well. So.
Yeah, well, Caroline, you want to go first?
I loved working with Steven and Alexa. I think what was great about Fishbowl is everyone was really close, and we had our like meeting place at the Kinigopoulos house. So between takes, we would all go there, and I became really close with Stephen and Alexa, and also with Emily Peachey on the set. So it was just a really great experience to have, and it was so inspiring to see like all of these people that are so talented all in one place doing everything they're good at. It was just so inspiring to me.
Yeah, I mean, that was, so the Kinigopoulos' house is maybe 20 minutes tops from mine at best. I mean, so it was close. It was kind of neat because you could go and they'll say, oh, I got a little break. I'm going to run home and do something and come back. But so that was pretty cool. But Stephen and Alexa, you know, I've worked with some really big directors in this industry, and they're amazing. You would never believe that it wasn't something that they'd been doing for years. It's just the communication. And this film, and I said to Stephen early on, I'm going to have to just count on you and trust you to keep me where I need to be in the arc, because we shot very out of order. And it was just that realization that I needed to be paint on their palette and just do what they're telling me to do and trust this process as an actor and just do my part and support them in doing their part. And it was so easy. It was just so easy. Because you just got what they were trying to do, and you would just trust and just take the direction and go.
That is that's kind of interesting to hear that was shot out of order, because you know there's some really important character progression in this film, and so I can't imagine kind of like, I mean, I guess this is just your craft, so you know, kind of compartmentalizing the different times you know, of Rick and Jessa, and having them come through at different, you know, having to portray them not in order. Like that seems difficult. Like you know, was that tough, Rick and Carolyn? That seems very tough for your first role too. So that's was that kind of tough to do, or did the direction just kind of help that process along?
Was it tough to do? I don't think it ever felt difficult, just because Stephen and Alexa like explained everything to us, and so in that sense, it was not difficult for me.
Yeah, it was. They make it easy. It can be very. They could be. If you're not comfortable and safe on set and you don't feel that way, and it was pretty amazing. Like the girls, when we were shooting at the Simon house, the girls were always grouped together like three sisters in this back bedroom, and I would like come walking and I'd open the door and they'd be like all like huddled on this bed, just kind of like giggling and laughing, and I'd walk in like the interloper and I'd be like, okay, I'm out. But so it was hugely family-like the whole entire time. And you know, Janice Kinigopoulos again at the house, and just always just very relaxed and not stressed, and you know, we were making our days, and just so much kindness and warmth all the time, especially when you're dealing with the stuff that we're dealing with on as far as the story.
Yeah, definitely. And it's almost like you're method acting, right? In that sense, it feels like everyone's kind of, you know, naturally falling into their roles, which is that must have been great to kind of establish that you know, that family unit, even though it's a little bit of a strained family unit. There's it still feels like a strong family in this film. So
definitely. And it was when Judith came, because she was like so great, because she came on the set, immediately came up and gave me a hug. So this anything that was going to be awkward just went away right away. And so it was great, you know, working with her. Actually, I think everybody was kind of that way. Everybody just kind of like, yeah, we're here, let's do this. You know, it's kind of interesting when you're working on an independent film like this, you know, as an actor, you come in and you have ideas and you want to take your ideas and bring them into the scene. That's your value. But you also have to be cognizant that every time you got to do another take and it takes more time, you're spending somebody's money. So you got to walk that line of making sure you're taking the direction, but you also want to make sure that you're adding value to your character. So there was always a comfort in knowing where that line was, which just made it so easy.
Yeah, no, definitely. That's it sounds like it was just a really fantastic shoot. Given time constraints and resource constraints, it sounds like everyone just kind of really kind of gave it their all, which is just such a great thing to hear, and probably why it feels like such a strong, unified piece of work. So both of your characters kind of have communication issues, and it seems like that's very different from you in person, right? Like, you know, Carolyn, your character just doesn't talk, and Rick, your character is very restrained, and I hear that you seem not to be very restrained at all. So, what was it like?
I talk a lot, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's good. I was surprised. You know, that's just because you kind of embodied Rick in the film. You know, what was it like preparing for those, you know, very different roles? I mean, Carolyn, that must have been interesting for you because it's, you know, A, it's your first role, and then B, you have to express so much non-verbally, which is already tough to do, you know, for any actor, and for your first role. I just want to know how you kind of got ready for that.
Yeah, I didn't have any lines in the film. So what I thought about was the prior circumstances to the scene, what just happened, and then still having thoughts and still having feelings, but just expressing it. I worked on just expressing it through my eyes and my body language. Because she's still thinking about everything and still involved. She's just not talking. She's still a person. She's just not communicating. And I thought about just expressing it in that sort of way.
And Rick, how did you kind of build this? You know, it's such a complicated character because he's clearly a caring father, but then he also kind of, you know, doesn't express it much and kind of is very reserved. So how did you kind of build that persona out? Or you could just say, I'm a good actor and this is my job. You could say that.
Yeah, no. I'm gonna, again, I have to defer. I am fully gonna credit the direction from Stephen and Alexa. I could not have done that. It isn't, you know, if I'm kind of like one of those hard workers. So I'm always wanting to do more. And Rick Simon character is not do more, it's do less. It's definitely do less. And so just having them every day, just kind of like keeping me on track, letting me try stuff, you know, but being really clear with what they wanted. And hopefully that's answering your question. I'm trying to put myself back there. And I just remember going, okay, because I think one of the scenes, the car wreck scene, we did that kind of early on because getting that car and all the resources, that was kind of an interesting day. Hurrying up and scrambling and getting that together and getting that set together, then going and getting in makeup, catching the sun going down and making it all work. So that is the beginning. Yet it's kind of, you know, that's what kind of sets the whole story in motion. You know, the audience doesn't oh God, am I giving spoilers? The audience doesn't know. Yeah.
There's not much context, but sure.
Okay. But the audience doesn't really know, and I'm not going to give that up, why Rick Simon is the way he is. And there's little tidbits given throughout the film, especially the way that the congregation and the church treats him. So, but then keep in mind that we shot that early on. So again, I got to credit the directors. I got to credit the directors for keeping it.
Yeah, that is such a pivotal scene. I mean, I think I've rewatched that scene probably 10 times just because everything kind of comes together there. The drama, the music, the, you know, emotion. It's all kind of. I think that's probably the most powerful scene in the film. So that's crazy that you shot that first. I guess, you know, jump in feet first, right?
Yeah, I don't know if it was necessarily first, but it was kind of like, hey, we got all this stuff, we got to shoot this, and you know, that's independent film at its best. Mm-hmm. You know, you get these resources, but they're available only here. So you gotta make it happen. So I'm you know, I may be wrong, but I think that's kind of how I recall it happening. And again, it was fun. It was a lot of fun.
It's your interview. You're right for this one, so we'll go with it.
Yeah. It was interesting though. I think Stephen and Alexa they're good as far as understanding what you need. Mm-hmm. Like to go to I can get to a pretty dark place. I can get to a violent place, and I can get pretty there pretty quickly. Some of the other stuff I'm working on as an actor to get to some of the deeper emotional places. And I think they kind of knew that. So, they knew when to push, and they knew when to work. They just kind of intuitively seemed like they knew what I needed, and they always were giving it to me. Yeah.
That's awesome. So I also heard from Emily that Rick, you did some stunt coordination, and also taught the girls some stunt coordination in
Yes.
the off time. So I want to hear about that. It sounds like Carolyn also participated in this mini
Yes.
stunt clinic. So I'd like to hear about that.
Go ahead, Carolyn.
So without spoiling,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Light spoilers. That's not a big deal.
Okay. During one of the scenes, Jessa and Stephanie Fellinger, who's played by Jackie Jones, we get in a fight. So Rick was teaching me how to do this fight choreography. And we were Emily and I, prior to shooting the scene, we practiced in between takes. And so I have all these videos of us like punching each other in the face, and like the sound effects too of like boom. So it was really, really fun. And I'd never done any fight choreography before. So I really enjoyed it. And I really enjoyed shooting the scene too with Jackie Jones.
Yeah. That's fun.
No, it was great. And it's so unlike me as a person. So it was really fun to have to get there and get to that place of wanting to fight. And it's the first time in the film that we see a different side of Jessa.
Mm-hmm.
That she's not just, not only is she sad and fighting her own battle, but she's also sassy. She's got a personality, and that was the first scene, I think, in the film that we saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely. Is this, I guess now that you've got this skill set and you're still early in your career, maybe you'll transition more towards the action side. I'm
open to anything. I mean, I don't know how it's going to happen. So we'll see.
I'd say that was one of my most fun memories on set, was that day in the hallway, because we're in this Catholic girls' school working. And I'll tell you, the one time it was Emily and Caroline, and Caroline was, when we were just playing it out, the reactions were so great, and you guys both busted out laughing. It was hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of want to take this class too. If you offer it once classes are back in session and people can gather, I'm interested in learning how to stunt choreograph, or how to fight choreograph. So I have two more quick questions. These are spoilers, light-ish, not terrible spoilers, but if you haven't seen the film and the previous spoilers haven't turned you off, you should definitely go see it. This film is fantastic. And just skip ahead for like a couple minutes, and I'll have a couple lighter questions after. But just two things I want to know about the movie since I have you on here. Rick, there's a scene later in the film where you're handing out pamphlets, and you say, you look at the character and you say, "You don't get one," and then you walk away. Was that written, or was that just you improvising? Because that was awesome.
That was the fun part. That was that line I was talking about, because early on they said, yeah, if you get a little off, that's okay. But if you throw in something like that and it changes it in a direction that it wasn't supposed to go, it could cause you to have to do another take, or just, so you do. And it just, that's what I just felt, just felt like, it was just kind of came out and just went with it. And fortunately they liked it and left it in.
Yeah, I really like that scene. It kind of was a nice, this film has a lot of drama, but there's all these moments of levity in it, and that was just one of them that was just kind of perfectly timed.
Yeah, and Aaron Marcus, who played the preacher, is an amazing actor. He really is just so good. And that was the first time that he and I have ever gotten a chance to work together. We've known each other for forever. So I guess 20 years in the DMV doing film. First time we've ever had a scene together. So that was fun, because he's such a good actor. Yeah.
This is such an awesome little DMV reunion for this film. I love it. Carolyn, and there's a scene where there's some people looking at the house, and you write something to them, and I don't know, I keep looking for it, but I don't think I know what it said. What did that note say? Because I think the only thing that we, the viewers, get keyed into is after you're writing "I'm sorry" to your dad. Was there anything on that note? I assume there must have been something.
Yeah. I don't know.
I do. I'm not. No spoilers.
Yeah.
It's not a spoiler. It's not in the film. I can't.
I can't remember what's
I think if
on
you,
the note. I can't remember what was on the note.
I do, and if you juxtapose that with the other scenes when the girls are going to the door, and I think it's definitely Fellinger's mother, kind of looking over and seeing me, and she's like, "Are you all right?" It's almost like that, blink once if he's, abusing. So, I mean, there's this undertone that's there. And that scene is another one where the people are, it was Bill Thomas and Catherine Clavana and Connie Bowman playing the real estate agent. That was the undertone. Is he abusing these girls? What's going on?
Mm-hmm.
And you really don't know, what's going on.
I just can't remember what the note says.
Okay. You can have it. That's fine. You don't have to tell me.
I'm sorry, I don't remember.
No, it's fine.
It said help us.
Yeah.
It said help us.
I thought it said something like that, but yeah. You just don't know.
Yeah.
Well, awesome. Okay, so now we'll transition. I call it the lightning round. It's just very light questions. They're kind of related to characters, kind of related to the movie. You can choose not to answer them if you don't want to. I'm perfectly fine with that. Although I try to keep them very answerable. So, and some of them might not apply to you, Carolyn. They're kind of general questions, but we'll go in and see. So I guess the first question is: Did either of you grow up religious?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. I did as well. So, but less so now. But I definitely love this film. It definitely kind of spoke to me in that respect, kind of having that background. Have either of you ever been caught cheating on a test?
Yes.
No, I'm really good at it.
More than once.
Well, you're busy now, so it makes sense. You don't have time to study. Have you ever found a lost animal?
Yes.
Wait, I'm sorry?
Have you ever found a lost animal?
Lost animal, no.
Rick, did you return that for a reward?
I tried to nurse it back to health. It was a small little deer that had run into a fence post and its mother left it. And I tried to nurse it back to health and it died. It was sad.
Oh, that's all right. That's good for you. That I can't even imagine doing that. That must have been really difficult.
It was. Yeah.
What's the worst thing you've bought from TV or the internet?
Oh, wow. I pass.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
It was so bad I blocked it out.
Yeah, that's I'm sure we bought a lot of stuff from the internet in the last 6 months that we are just kind of desperate for. So I imagine there's a lot of interesting purchases. Which of the girls do you most kind of relate to as a person? I kind of put them as Belle is like the rebellious one, Rachel's kind of the good-natured one, and then Jessa's kind of more the innocent one. So of those three, which do you relate to, Caroline?
Rachel.
Okay.
I would say if I had to say I would say I was more like Belle as far as my personality. Yeah, I'm rebellious.
That's so interesting, Carol, that you said you were like Rachel, because I talked to Emily Peachey yesterday, and she said she's more like Belle. So it seems like everyone just kind of shifted in the sisterhood. I wonder if Belle would be more like Jessa.
Yeah, I'm a rule follower.
I'm not.
What is the longest time you've gone without talking?
Oh, God.
Rick's like, this answer right here is the longest time.
I talk to myself, so it's not real long.
Maybe an hour of yeah, I talk to myself too, but maybe an hour.
Does when you're asleep count?
We'll skip that. I guess maybe actively choosing not to talk. Or awesome. Have you ever egged a house?
No.
Yes.
Okay. Have you ever snuck out of the house to go party?
Yes.
To go what?
To go party.
Yes.
Wait, I thought you said you were a rule follower.
Yeah, I am. But yeah, I am. But
Yes, some rules are
my
not
mom
meant
is
to be
gonna watch
followed.
this. She's gonna be like, when?
Well, you don't have to share it with her, so it's fine. Do you dab your pizza?
No.
Back when I ate pizza, yes. Yeah, I used to love to stick it in the garlic stuff. Yeah.
Do you
Oh, you mean
dab it with?
taking the oil off?
Mm-hmm.
No. It's the
Bleh.
best part. It's the best part.
I do, so I related to Rachel in that scene. Have you ever prepped for kind of, some sort of apocalyptic event, Y2K, the rapture, or something along those lines?
Oh yeah,
No.
I'm ready now.
Yeah, well, I think we all are ready right now.
My go bag is right over there.
It's funny, but also sadly true. Okay, and last question: have you ever met your idol?
Oh man, no.
No.
Still lots of time left, but yeah, I wonder if it actually would be a good experience. I was here. You're not supposed to meet your idols, so I think I've talked to one person who did, and they said it was awesome. So
I met a lot of cool people that I like, but I think all my idols are dead.
oh, that's a grim.
But maybe after the rapture, we'll meet them again.
Yeah, they'll all come back. It'll be a big party. So the film is out. It's available digitally. Anyone can rent it, purchase it, and they definitely should. So now that the film is out and kind of, I imagine promotion is winding down. What's next for both of you?
Oh, good, Carolyn.
Well, I'm in college right now. So right now I'm just doing school, and when things get back going, I don't know. We'll see.
Right.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm editing a feature documentary that we shot back in 2018, 2019, kind of over it, and working on that. And actually the industry is starting to open back up. We produced a short film last month called In the Age of COVID, which is where the actor came to set and the crew called it in. Then they all worked from home. That was fun.
Oh, wow.
And just now all of a sudden auditions are happening. So I've been reading a couple of auditions a day and just hoping for the next project. I'm hoping for Steven and Alexa to make another movie.
I'm hoping for the same. I think I asked them about that. I'll have to go back and review their answer, but I think they're both working as well. So fingers crossed. We'll see what comes next from them. So
yeah,
awesome.
Big things. I'm sure big things.
Definitely. This is quite a breakout, first project for them. So I'm really excited to see what happens next. So thank you both for joining me. Thank you for your time. And this is the movie is Fishbowl. It's out digitally. This is Carolyn Coleman and Rick Kain. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you.
That was Carolyn Coleman and Rick Kain from Fishbowl. Fishbowl is available digitally on pretty much every major distributor, so you can rent it, buy it, check it out at home, stay safe during the pandemic, whatever you want, but you should definitely check it out. It's a very good film. If you like this interview, please like and subscribe to this channel. It helps me out a lot to make sure all my new videos go straight to you. And as always, please go to watchyourpast.com for all your movie reviews, interviews, and recommendations. Thank you.